I am Dawn. I don't think I should start like that, but I was born in 1999, just 1 year before 2000, and I'm happy. At least I'm not, it's called what? Like I wasn't born in the 2000s. I can say I'm an old person, proudly. I was born on the 5th of January, which was a Tuesday, and I was born very early in the morning. That's why I'm called Dawn, D-A-W-N. It's not D-O-N or D-O-W-N, it's D-A-W-N. I was born in the morning, and my second name is Chepkoech, and I'm a Kalenjin, and in our language, Koechi, I think, please, I'm not sure, but Koechi means like rising of the sun in the morning. So I was born in the morning, and they gave me, pretty much they called me Dawn Dawn or Chepkoech Chepkoech. And then I have another name, which is in my birth certificate, but I was really never told I'm called that name until maybe after primary. I found out when I looked at my birth certificate. And my first name is Ramona, which it has a story to it, because I looked at my birth certificate and I saw my name, and it was written Ramon. And then I continued looking, but on the gender part, I was written male. I was not a female, which was the funniest thing. And then I asked my parents, why is it male and why is it Ramon, not Ramona? And they ended up going to change it. But it's a small thing that happens in Kenya. Apparently most people, not many, but there's a number of people who have that issue. So I was born in Nakuru, and I was raised in Nakuru, and I was born in an institution. We used to live inside an institution because my parents were lecturers, I think, yeah, they were lecturers. So we lived in an institution in an estate where there are very many children. So we had a very lively environment where there are very many children. We had neighbors we used to play with, we had friends, and one of our neighbors they were Chinese, yeah? They're Chinese. Yeah, they were Chinese. And it was very interesting because we used to go to their home, they cook for us. They used to bring kites. The first time I saw a kite in my life was from them. And it was amazing. It was just flying up there. I don't know. I never used to be allowed to touch it because my sisters and brothers used to do it. I don't know if it's true, but I don't think I ever touched it and moved around with it. But it was very cool to see a kite when I was young and play with very many children around there. And that's where I was born. And it was a very lively environment where I got to experience kids. And I went to a nursery school in Nakuru also. It was called St. Ninian's. And here, I remember the first day I cried because my bag, it's either I didn't like the bag I had, or my bag was left in the car, then my parents had to bring it back. But I remember there's an issue I cried about bags. And I was given another bag that I was happy about. And I really liked my nursery school because I used to participate in music festival. I used to be the leader, the one who's singing in front and everyone is singing at the back. I used to be those people bouncing balls, skipping. I have a nice picture of myself. So I really liked my nursery. And if I think about it, one of my best friends in my life, she's called Daisy. I studied with her from nursery going on. And after nursery, I moved to Moi Primary, which is just adjacent to the nursery that I went to. And I really didn't like this school that much because I remember we used to be put, if you're number 1, you sit at the front, number 2, number 3, like you sit according to which number you are. So wherever you are in class, it's noticeable where you are. And then if in the second exam I change, I drop, I was number 2, then I become number 10. I now go sit at the number 10 point. And it used to be so, in my head I used to feel so bad because it's like a clear show of you failed or you've passed. And where are you in the world? Because this is your world, your class is your world at that point. So where are you in this small world that you're in? So I really didn't like it. But luckily we were moved, when I was in class 3, I was moved to another school, which I became the headmaster, the head girl. Yeah, I became the head girl in that school, which I really liked, being a leader and being working with people. I think my leadership started in my primary school because that's where you are noted. I feel like people who notice you and put you somewhere push you a lot in life because they show you have potential. So in my primary, that's where I was shown that you have potential to lead, you have potential to be a leader of people, you have potential to guide people in different ways. So I really enjoyed my primary, apart from one girl who poured water on my bed that I've just remembered. I feel like that's one of the biggest highlights because it's the day that I cried and I made a fuss out of everything because one girl never used to like me and poured water on my bed. But right now, currently, she's my friend, which shows how life things change, people change, and everything changes. So I think that's an interesting part. So I got 400 marks flat. Sindio? You think so? I got 400 flats, and I was called to Bahati Secondary School, but I didn't go. I went to Alliance. Yay, I'm a Busharian, guys. I went to Alliance because the owner of the school was a board member in Alliance, and she saw my potential and was like, you can actually fit in this school, and she took me to that school. So again, in life, people put you in places, and people push you and guide you. And I feel like the power of people in people's life is underestimated sometimes, but it's very, very beautiful. And I got to go to Alliance, which was another whole 4 years of different things and different emotions and different growth, because you go to a school where everyone is top of their school. Everyone is top of wherever they're coming from, and you have to either be top of these people or not. So it was a very interesting time of my life, where I went. The funniest thing in Alliance, in my Form 1, I was number 1, 2 in the whole school. And then in my Form 4, I was number 180 or something like that. So it's sometimes in life you win and you lose. And I feel like with Alliance, I won and I lost a lot of things. There's a balance, and you have to look at life like that. So the one thing that I take from Alliance is I'm a Christian, and my relationship with God comes from the environment I was in Alliance, and the people I stood around, the people I hung out around, the Christian Union and everyone. So my Christianity is rooted there, because I feel like as young people, no, as everyone really, you're brought up in a Christian family, but you have to reach a time where you actually decide to be a Christian. And it's a conscious decision that you have. So in Alliance, that's the one thing I take from Alliance, is that I grew my Christianity, I grew my life, and I grew my relationship with God, which have taken it this far in my life. And the other thing is I also met friends who I still have until now. And the other thing is I was in a good school and I said I'm from Alliance. Nowadays, if you say I'm a Busharian, I'm from Alliance, you have that feeling and you have that vibe. Yeah, after Alliance, I got physics A, math A. I think I should have been an engineer, but life took me somewhere else. I had the option of being an engineer, but I decided to do a course called International Relations and Diplomacy, and I went to Technical University of Kenya. And here is where also I learned more about friendship and about people, which I feel like is a very consistent theme in my life, of how people can push you, people can take you places. So in Technical University, I did International Relations and Diplomacy. TUK is the former Kenya Poly, which is in town. And I was wondering, how the hell am I coming from Nakuru to Nairobi in the middle of the town, and there are no hostels? So in my head, I didn't really like it at first, but after meeting some of my friends who are my friends until date, I got to enjoy being in that school and being there. So in TUK, I met some lovely people. And I remember there's one day someone called Saina Kiprotich, I think it's Kiprotich, yeah, Saina. He called me and he was like, do you want to eat free chips? I was like, yeah, I want to eat free chips. Who doesn't want free chips? In university, you really want every other food that you want to get. So I went with him and he introduced me to AYLF, which is African Youth Leadership Forum. And here is a place where friendship became a core of things. Friendship and conversation. That's two things that stuck with me from AYLF. And everyone in my life, 80% of the people who are around my life right now are from AYLF, because we got to develop a relationship that is it's not just a relationship because we have common things. It's a relationship because we value each other and we understand each other and we know where we are going. And it's a relationship around love and around who we are as people. And I got to lead AYLF as the small group coordinator during COVID, which was a very interesting time because we were all at home. But I used to make sure we have check-ins every single Monday, which helped everyone to know where everyone is. Because during COVID, there was a lot of issues because you're isolated, you're all alone at home. You are you don't have contact with people. So that was a very interesting part where I got to learn the value of friends and the value of who people are. And I remember I got a trophy of it. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we got a trophy as the best small group during COVID times, because we used to really catch up with each other, have online meetings, and also have WhatsApp meetings there. So from OLF, I learned about conversation and friendships. And the friends I have right now have stuck with me because of OLF and because of sitting down and discussing hard issues and talking about it with each other. Yeah. So after university, I graduated really late in university. I think I stayed in university for 6 years, which is not like most of my people, because to be honest, it's my project. My project was really a hard part of my life. When people say when you graduate, it's a big thing for me, because it took me over 1 year to do my final project while my peers had graduated. And I was just there, I haven't finished my project, so I felt really bad, and it was a really bad time. But I graduated last year, December, with a first class, which I was really happy about, because after spending 6 years struggling with my project, and getting a first class was an amazing thing. So I graduated, and before graduating, I got an opportunity to go to France, which was a very interesting thing, because I got to experience a new world and a new life, and new people and new environment, and experience racism in a different way than you experience in Kenya, which was a whole different thing for me, and that made me grow a lot. And after that, I got to volunteer. Part of my life is I like giving a lot. And from the aspect of me like giving a lot, I got to enter a space for 1 year where I was placed in a rural community in Kitui, in the middle of nowhere. And I was left there for 1 year to work with the community, to solve issues in the community with the community. Because most of the times in Kenya, and actually in Africa, most people expect to be given a lot of things, yet there's potential in the community, there's potential in people to come up with solutions with the assets that they have, and they bring out solutions. So I was placed in a community in rural, it's called Kadhome. It's in the middle of Kitui. Now I speak Kamba a bit. Nimwea, Mwatindata, Wacha. So I now speak because I lived with them for 1 year all alone. And we were able to come up with different projects in the community, coming from high schoolers who finished high school and never really transitioned into university, just because they didn't have the information. They didn't have the information there's help. They didn't have the information that there are universities that you can actually enter and the government will pay for you this amount of money, and that they're technical universities. You don't have to get a C+ and above to go to university. So I had that program with them, which was really amazing, because 50% of the students I worked with entered into universities and technical colleges. And then we had also different with women group. The power of women is something I learned for this 1 year, because if you go to the rural communities, women hold each other and form groups, and they're the ones who hold the money, they're the ones who hold development in communities. So I worked with women a lot, which showed me the power of women in communities. And in that 1 year, we were able also to do a project with the smallholder farmers who normally have tiny goats. I don't know if you guys have been to Kitui, but they're normally tiny goats, and there are bigger goats called gala goats, which were able to help the community upgrade their goats to gala goats, which fits in their community. And them themselves, without knowing, because they've just been waiting for people to come give them stuff, but they were able to raise a lot of money so that they'd be able to get these gala goats. And I was the only one who was there with them, and a whole committee of community members who I sat down with, and they were able to come up with ideas that we did, what we implemented. So that 1 year taught me that mindsets make a big difference. And from OLF, I learned that conversations matter. And I was able to sit with people and come up with conversations of how can we go about this? This is affecting you guys. What do we do about it? And this is what we can do about it. So that was a very pivotal moment in my life, because I got to impact lives, and they impacted my life also, which was an amazing 1 year. And then currently, from my work with the community, I am a community development specialist with an NGO that works with communities around national parks. These are conservation communities. The Maasais in Amboseli, the Maasais in Masai Mara, and then the Mwadawida in Taita Taveta. So I work with these communities because they're next to national parks, and most people protect wildlife, but they forget the people who are there. So I work with the community to develop them. As much as conservation is wildlife oriented, people are also very important because they're the ones who protect the wildlife and protect the environment. So that is where my passion lies at the moment, where I work with communities to show them the potentials that they have and to also bring in different partners, different things into their lives. And that's where my passion is, with people, with communities, with development, and with the love of life, I think. I don't think I made you guys laugh, but yeah, that's where I am at the moment. Yeah, thank you.
Good job.